Alright, here we are, 7:58 a.m. late October, fall camping, Ludington. We got the charcoal started. We're going to use the minion method today. See, we've got about 16, 18 briquettes getting started, and then we've got a pile of charcoal around the outside. See, I've left an opening on the inside, and that's where the lit charcoal will go. Keep it simple method. I'm gonna use some apple hunks today for the pork. Got chips for later, also apple. I do not soak my hunks of wood. I find it makes no difference whether they're dry or soaked when I put them in. And put a couple in. You just place them around the outside. I'll probably start with 4 or 5, and then I'll add them throughout the day. Checking out. All right, checking back in. It's 8:06 a.m. See, our starter briquettes are well on their way. Normally I like to use a chimney starter with the handle, and then I can easily dump them in, but forgot to bring that this weekend, so I'll just have to improvise. Charcoal's all loaded up. Current temperature is 38 degrees, and it's only forecasted to get up to 50 today. So I'm going a little heavy on the charcoal. You got to factor in the weather. You know, when you're figuring out how much charcoal to use. Direct sunlight is a factor too. So if you're smoking in the shade or in the sun, that makes a difference. So what we're gonna smoke today is got a pork butt. It's a pork shoulder. It's a 6.5 pounds. I use butt rub. Rub it the night before, let it sit overnight. Pretty generous with it because it's got to soak in. I don't use any marinades or anything like that. I just keep it real simple and let the rub do the work. Later on, we're going to be smoking up some fish and maybe some ribs too, so we'll see how that goes. Checking out. All right, so we've had to move the smoker like underneath the awning because there's kind of a chance of rain, I guess. And the starter bricks are ready. We're just gonna dump them on. Try not to burn myself. And I'll just use the tongs to get that off. Okay, so we're gonna spread the chips out just a little bit and place the pan in there, drip pan. It'll catch the juices from the pork, and you can put water in it to control the temperature if it gets too hot. So we're gonna put the top on, wait for it to get up to heat. Very simple thermostat. You got warm, ideal, and hot. You pretty much just want to try to get it up to top dead center. And that's probably going to be about 240 degrees Fahrenheit. So this will warm up. It'll probably take like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll put the pork on. All right, we're back. A little more activity happening around the campsite. Charlie's out here doing crafts. We got some bacon cooking. The smoker is getting up into the ideal territory. Taking a little bit. Obviously, like I said earlier, the weather. It's chilly out, so it's not going to heat up quite as quick. But we're ready for the pork. Got a Brinkman Smoke and Grill. Very simple smoker, but it does the job. Put the grate on. We'll start with no water. And when I place the pork, I'm going to place the fat side up. And on here. Get it kind of leveled. See, that's been rubbed. I actually ran out of rub on this one. Normally I'd go a little heavier on the rub. The side that didn't get quite as much as the fat side, but the rest of it did get a fair amount of rub. And that's that. And we'll cover it and let it smoke. Checking out. Hey, we're back. It's about getting close to 1 p.m. so the pork's been on for like 4 hours. We're gonna check the temperature. The heat has been, the thermostat's been on the lower end of ideal. So we're gonna check the inside temperature and add some coals, try to get the temperature up. You're gonna want it top dead center. That's ideal. All right, see it's cooking along. You only have to go in about 1.5 inches. Okay, so we're at 144 degrees internal temperature. With pork, you got to get it up to about 160 degrees internal temperature, and then you can wrap it. Wrap it in foil and let it cook in its own juices. The reason that you wrap it is at that point it can't soak up any more of the smoke, the flavored smoke. So it's best off to just let it cook internally. All right. I'll load this thing up with coals if you want to get a shot of the inside here. These Brinkmans are very basic. They have no valves, no air valves on the bottom, no adjustable valves. So it's just a fixed width, which creates a constant airflow all throughout the process. In the center of that coal pan is a hole. Now this is a vintage model, so it came stock with the hole in the bottom. If you were to buy one of these brand new, it's a solid bottom. All right, so now we have the pork off. This is a good point midway through to replenish your coals and just get the heat back up. If you see in the center there's your hole, and that creates some airflow. So far I've gone through one bag, a small bag of Kingsford Original, and about, I don't know, maybe 10 hunks of applewood. So sometimes you just need to stir them around. You don't need to add coals, you just need to stir them around. Since we have it off, I'll add a few coals and a few hunks of wood. And that's it for now. Okay, it's 2:42 p.m. We've been smoking for 6 hours now. We're well into this. Gonna check the internal temp again. Last check we were at 145. We've been still hovering around like a little above warm into ideal territory. We're gonna actually get, okay, here we go. Couple inches in, 165, wow, bam. That's where we need to be to wrap. So now it is no longer taking in the smoke from the applewood hunks, and we can wrap it in foil, and that tenderizes it. So we'll do that in a minute. We're also gonna have a look at Cliff's over here.
So I just wanted to clarify, we put the meat on and plugged in the smoker at 215. It is now 245, and we're actually up to heat and smoking the jerky. So we're gonna do a check in about 4.5 hours. This jerky was a little thinner than some of the other ones I've done. But I just wanted to clarify the start time. It took about a half hour to get the smoker up to the right temp.
So we're about at 165 internal temp. At this point we're gonna wrap. It's called the Texas Crutch. And what that does is it powers that meat through the stall. Because what will happen without the wrap is the internal temperature will actually drop a little bit. But we wrap it to get through the stall. Again, Texas Crutch.
We're going to do a double wrap just to completely seal it in.
Keep the moisture from the meat when it congelates. That's what gets it tender and makes it so you can pull it.
Oh, you got low battery. All right.
All right, here we are, 4:35 p.m. Temperature's hovering the same as it has been for a while. It's been an hour and a half since we wrapped it in foil. We have not uncovered this. You do not want to uncover these things while they're on this final stage, because if you're looking, you're not cooking. It's very important that you just leave them covered. You don't want to change the temperature on this final stage, because those changes in temperature can ruin the tenderizing process. So that's it. We'll be checking back in and checking internal temperature in probably another 20 minutes.
Hi, I am Justin's daughter, Ava, and I am a little grilling consultant too, I guess. I just wanted to say, since we haven't done an entry in a while, but even though that's a split second to you guys, we haven't done it in the next 20 minutes as my dad promised. So I just wanted to show you the temperature and stuff like that. So here it is, balancing right between ideal and warm.
Jess, do you know where my phone is? Have you seen it?
Let's see the temperature. 169, 77, 80, 82. Huh. I hope it gets to 190, like it's supposed to be.
I think we're gonna have to add some coals.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so late in the game, in cold weather climates, sometimes you have to remove the pan. And I've restocked the coal basin with, you know, probably 10 bricks. Oh, you gotta do this quick, because like I said earlier, you know, if you're looking, you're not cooking. So here we go, we're back onto the top.
Back to square one, we gotta warm it up again.
If you're looking, you're not cooking.
Go.
All right, here we go. Internal temp. Oh, 206. That's plenty warm. That is plenty warm. We're gonna take it off. All right, let's go to a cut.